Welcome to Evo and welcome to the main event of 2011. What we have here is the most talked about car of the moment. It's the McLaren MP4-12C and its fiercest rival, the Ferrari 458 Italia. Now, to keep those cars honest, we've also brought along the Noble M600 Porsche 911 Turbo S, two of the most accelerative cars on sale today. Now, if you're expecting Chris Harris here today, well, I was expecting Chris Harris to be here today as well. Unfortunately, he has got tonsillitis and he can't speak. However, we do have Harry Metcalf here. Harry's the editorial director and founder of Evo magazine and also a supercar owner. He knows a thing or two about supercars, so over to you, Harry.
And I can speak and I have a voice, and really looking forward to this test. I mean, with the McLaren, we've waited so long for this McLaren, and this is D-Day for the McLaren against the Ferrari, against the Noble, and against the 911. It wouldn't be Evo without a 911 in the test. We ought to go through the cars individually and just see what points, how the McLaren is going to tackle these three supercars. Well, first contender, 911 Turbo S. It's not often you can turn up in a car like this and be the least powerful car here, but at 530 horsepower it is. But as we all know, from A to B, this car is just unbelievably fast. We figured this car as well a few months back and got 2.9 to 60 out of it, so blisteringly quick, thanks to its four-wheel drive. Next one, the plucky Brit, the Noble. A rare sight. You only see them in magazines, but road testers just love this. The road tester just love this car. Really pure, really lightweight, carbon fibre, and you press all the naughty buttons, you're 650 horsepower in about 1,200 kilos. This car flies as well. Now we come to the star of the show, the new McLaren, twin turbo V8, 600 PS, carbon fibre construction, such clever technology in this car, no anti-roll bars, super clever suspension, but this is the car it has to beat, the new Ferrari 458. We were so surprised when this car came along. It was so much better than the 430, a super high revving V8, a lot of horsepower, 560 horsepower, and a super smooth gearbox. That's what that McLaren has got to beat today.
So there you have it. We have the cars and we have a 2-mile runway. So let's get on with it and have a drag race.
Okay, there probably couldn't be any easier way of doing launch control than in the Porsche. So we just put it into drive, switch everything off down here, Sport Plus, PSM off, left foot on the brake, hit the throttle, launch control active, we're ready to go.
And here we have the Noble, where you have to do things the old-fashioned way. You've got a gear lever, a throttle pedal and a clutch pedal. You've got a traction control button. Once you switch that off, it's clutch control and pot lug.
So let's get this in launch control mode. This is the McLaren. We go handling mode into T, which is track mode. Powertrain, track mode. Active is on. Left foot on the brake. Launch. We're in gear and we're ready to go.
Okay, well, launch control on the 458. First of all, turn it all on. As all cars now, with the DSG gearboxes, it starts in auto, so you press auto off. I don't have to get it just in gear, and turn the traction control right off, you get that noise. Press launch. There we are, we have it at launch.
Porsche's got an amazing start, but with 135, 100.
Okay, well, let's have another look at that in a little bit more detail. Okay, so here we go. The Porsche and the McLaren, wow, it's neck and neck off the line. The Porsche's got incredible traction, four-wheel drive, launch control dialed in at 5,000 RPM. The Noble's dropping behind, the gear changes just slowing it down slightly, and the Ferrari's just dropping back slightly too. Now there goes the McLaren, it's really pulling away now, all of the horsepower advantage showing, and the Porsche's dropping right back. But here comes the Noble, here comes the Noble. And over the line, well, the McLaren's power advantage and super fast twin clutch gearbox, well, it wins the day. But how quick was the Noble catching up? I reckon if this had gone on to 190 miles an hour, the Noble would be well ahead. And next up, well, it's the Ferrari. It's only a lack of horsepower that makes this car finish third. Super fast gearbox, amazing launch control. And in fourth place, well, it's the 911 Turbo S. No car here today is quicker to 60 miles an hour than the Porsche, but again, it's just horsepower that makes this car drop slightly behind at the finish.
Okay, so the McLaren just pipped the Noble in the drag race. We're going to head over now to Bedford Autodrome and see how they fare on the circuit. Stephen's our staff writer.
Yep.
And what Stephen does is he sits next to Roger as Roger drives like an absolute maniac. And Stephen never throws up, never complains. He's
At least not at the camera anyway.
no, stomach of steel, this man.
Yeah. All those sausage rolls.
Have you had any sausage rolls today?
I've had a few in preparation.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is that wise?
It's absolutely fine.
Is it essential?
I think
Does
it's
Roger
essential.
go faster when you have sausage rolls?
Definitely, yeah. It specifies it.
That's quite a secret. I wonder if all the race teams know. It's a composite panel, so, and this is magnetic, isn't it? That's why we have to tape this down.
Yeah.
Magnetic, not magnetic. Old school solution, bit of tape.
Yeah.
It's all high tech here at Evo, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Stephen? Yeah. It's a really important, significant moment for Evo. This is the new McLaren MP4-12C, and this is the first time we've had a chance to set a lap time around the Bedford circuit. We've just done a time in the Ferrari, very, very competitive around here. And this is the new McLaren. See how Roger gets on. Interesting.
Very interesting. Completely different experience to the 458. The 458, you're always busy, always kind of feeling like you're on the edge. Every twitch that you make, the car does.
Yeah.
Whereas this is very different. It feels much more stable in that respect. It's slower reacting, but you still have this fine line that you have to tread. It's very easy to go over it. You still have to try and get the front to work, you know, in the early part of like the mid-speed corners. The brakes feel quite different in this car. The pedal is much harder under your foot.
Yeah.
It feels more like race car brakes. But the gear shift doesn't feel like it's quite as fast reacting. Whether that's because of the engine it's mated to, it's hard to tell. But also with the engine, you have to watch it as well because you can come off boost.
Right, okay.
So you have to learn to sort of carry a bit more speed into some of the corners so that you can keep the boost up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it just sort of drops off the power band. But it doesn't feel like you're going as fast as you're in the Ferrari. Obviously, I don't know yet. We haven't downloaded the data, but because you're less busy.
Roch. Switch her off. How'd you get on?
Well, it was certainly an exciting few laps. It really is quite a frisky little thing out there, and really it keeps you busy all the time. But I mean, really fast. The steering's very direct, very quick. So it gets you, and it turns in really sharply as well. But you have to make it do that. So you have to kind of lean on the brakes and sort of get it sort of forced in, and then once you're there, it sits in there really nicely. So it's a case of then just how brave you are and how soon you can pick the throttle up again. So
how are you on the braking look? Really impressive into the first turn.
Yeah, it is. It's really strong. I mean, it was getting a bit of a workout into that, and on the last lap, actually, the pedal sort of went quite firm. But yeah, the braking power is really strong. You can actually feel the car sort of squirming as it's going. You know, it's braking it that hard, and you can see it leaving tyre marks all the way around the lap. When you do the cool down lap, you can see, you know, how hard those tyres are.
As well. Right, nice one. Good job.